Hi, today we're going to work on more calculations with whole numbers. Specifically, we will address expressions, mathematical sentences with 2, 3, 4, 5 operations, including parentheses. Let's take a look at this word problem. Shelby collects glass figurines. She has 6 of them displayed on the mantelpiece, and the rest are displayed in a glass case with 4 shelves. Each shelf inside the glass case has 8 figurines. How many figurines does Shelby have altogether? So, of course, we know 4 shelves with 8 each. That is 32. We compute multiplication first according to the rules of operations, and then 6 more from the mantle. We have 38 figurines. Shelby has 38 figurines altogether. So let's review. Let's bring back order of operations. Do multiplication and division from left to right. From left to right. This is your left, this is your right. And then follow with addition, subtraction, also from left to right. Just to reiterate, we have please for parentheses, excuse for exponents, my dear to multiply and divide, Aunt Sally to add and subtract. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, this is a simple mnemonic that helps you remember, if you still don't remember from last year, which rules we address first. Let's practice order of operations. By the way, today and going forward, we will be using the term mathematical expression or simply expression. Expression in the language of math truly means a mathematical sentence. Think of it as an English sentence or sentence in any other language like French or Mandarin without the punctuation sign. It's almost unfinished. There is no equal. So for example, this alone would be an expression. 10 times 8 would be an expression. But once we put the equal sign creating the left and the right, we have an equation. Okay, we will continue bringing this up, but today I just want to tell you guys that we will be using the term expression quite often. For example, take a look at the instructions on the following page. I'm going to bump up the zoom for all of you. Number 3, find the value of each of the following expressions. Number 4, find the value. If the expression, we use this word expression. So we're going to continue talking about expressions. It's a new term for you, but it really just means mathematical sentences without the equal sign. Okay, so let's take a look at problem number 1 and number 2. Find the value of 7 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3 plus 8 plus 6. Because addition is commutative, we learned it long ago, we can add numbers in any order. And of course, Miss Natasha always tells you, make up tens. 7 and 3 makes a 10, 4 and 6 make a 10, and then of course 5 plus 8 will give you 13. So we have 10 plus another 10 plus 13, altogether we have 33. Addition is commutative, meaning you can do it in any order that is easier for you to make math. The quicker you can calculate, the fewer mistakes you are making. Take a look at number 2. Find the value of 50 times 28 times 2. Again, because multiplication is addition. We know that. It's repetitive addition. The same commutative rule applies, meaning you can do it in any order. And of course, 50 times 2 is the best way to make 100, and then 100 times 28 just gives you 2,800. Next, number 3. Find the value of each of the following expressions. What I do like about it is that we can split A, B, C, D because it's just pure addition, subtraction. So let's compute the first A, B, C, D first for examples. I am only going to solve B and D, and you guys use my examples to solve A and C on your own. So again, we're looking for nice round numbers. 0 is my hero, but 10 is my friend. So what makes round numbers? 75 and 25. makes 100, plus another 20 will give me 120. 8 plus 5 gives me 13, and altogether I have 133. Very easy mental math. Number D, again, A and C you will do yourself. Let's create hundreds. 30 plus 10 makes 100. 35 plus 15 makes 50. Altogether we have 150. Now let's address examples. Let's address the bottom examples, F and H. We have multiplication. You can do it in any order, just like addition. Well, I love my hundreds, my tens, and my thousands, and I know 25 taken 4 times gives me 100. So I can rewrite it in a simplified way, 86 times 100, which of course gives me 86 hundredths. Now, expression H, let's solve it. Let's find the value. I don't see a good way to do that other than multiply 8 times 4, which is 32, multiply 240 times 2, which is 480. And then, of course, we need to multiply everything across. So now we have 32 times 480. The easiest way is to think of 480 is 48 tenths. Let's compute 32 times 48 and then multiply that product times 10. I want you to pause the video to solve A, C, E, G, and H on your own. And I hope you had a chance to take time to do the math on your own, because if you got for H the answer 15,360, you solved it correctly. If you got for G 900, you solved it correctly. 20 times 15 gives you 900, and 30 times another 30 gives you 30, of course, and 30 times another 30 gives you 900. Now, I want to pay attention to numbers 4 and 5 because in these examples, we have multiple operations. And this is important when we take our time and do not rush. And please do not do too much math in your head, as we're trying to improve our accuracy, not only the speed. Example number 4, 160 divided by 4 plus 2 times 8 minus 8. We have 4 different operations. According to our PEMDAS rules, let me move this table down. Let me make it a little smaller because it's very, very large. According to the rules of PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Let's make it a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. We address parentheses first. Let's scan this expression, no parentheses. Next, we go for exponents. Let's scan this expression left to right, no exponents. So we are left with multiplication and division left to right. We have 160 divided by 4. We address that first. We solve that first. 2 times 8. We solve this. Oopsie. We solve this second. And left to right in the order of appearance, addition, subtraction. So then we can add, and finally we can subtract. So 160 divided by 4 gives us beautiful 40 plus 2 times 8 gives us 10 minus 8. No, 2 times 8 gives you 16, which of course we knew that. So we have 56 minus 8, and the answer is 48. Let's move down to number 5. We will do many examples together, and then I will give you an opportunity to solve some of them independently by pausing this video. So let's take a look at number 5. Again, we have 160. Divide by, open parentheses, 4 and the product of 2 and 8, close parentheses, minus 8. Let's scan this expression left to right. This is your left and this is your right, just for those who have still hard time figuring this out. Sometimes I do. Let's look for parentheses. We do have parentheses. Let me highlight. This is the expression inside the parentheses, which we must solve first. Let's go for it. We have 4 plus 2 times 8. Well, we know 2 times 8, you can cross it lightly, is 16, and 4 plus 16 is 20. Let's rewrite. I suggest you rewrite this expression with simpler way, fewer operations. 160 divided by 20, minus 8. Of course, we take care of division first. It becomes 88 minus 8, and the result is 0. This entire expression comes down to just being 0. Let's take a look at number 6. Again, I'm going to bring down our rules so we can see them much easier as you use them. We have multiple parentheses. I call them nested, kind of like those matryoshka dolls, or kind of like layers of the onion that one wraps up another. When you have more than one set of brackets or braces, do the calculation for the innermost first. So take a look, my friends, take a look. I'm going to highlight various things. We have simple parentheses with the expression 4 plus 2, followed by square brackets. And on the outside of it all, we have curly parentheses. It took me a while to learn how to write them neatly. So, according to the rules of order of operations, we go for the most inner set of parentheses. And in our case, it's 4 plus 2. We solve that first. 4 plus 2 is 6. Now I'm going to pick up my purple color and I'm going to solve these brackets. 6 times 8 is 48. And then finally, I am going to, I don't have a nice green color. How disappointing. I'm going to solve the green parentheses. How interesting. I just had different colors, including green. We're going to solve the green set, and that is 48 minus 8 gives us 40. Let's not forget, we had a division in front of all of these brackets and parentheses, and 160 divided by 40 will give you 4 times. Now, number 7, again, we are going to solve it all together. Actually, I would like to skip number 7 because it's more of a guided example, and instead, I want to focus your attention on number 8. Number 8 is quite challenging, and we're going to solve it a little bit above the example just because it takes a lot of space to write it out. So, let's look at number 8. We're right here, my friends. Number 8. We have open parentheses, 3 plus 6, close parentheses. So we have a sum of 3 and 6. Let's highlight because we know we have to pay attention to what's inside the parentheses. First, multiplied by the sum of 5 and 4 divided by 3. The sum of 5 and 4 divided by 3. And that product is subtract 7 or reduce by 7. So how do we calculate that? Step 1, address all the parentheses. 3 plus 6, we can gently cross it out and write down 9. We copy the multiplication. We open the parenthesis. 5 plus 4, the most inner parenthesis we have to address first, is 9. And 9 divided by 3, close parenthesis, I keep copying, minus 7. Equal. Let's go. We address the parenthesis first. And we have 9 multiplied by, what is inside here? 9 divided by 3? That is 3. 9 times 3, subtract 7 equals. And of course, 9 times 3, multiplication always precedes other operations such as subtraction and addition. We have 27 minus 7, and the answer is 20. My friends, this entire expression results in 20. Now that we know, we're becoming really proficient in how to address parentheses. Let me increase the screen and increase the zoom. Let's take a look at number 9, which gives us quite a bit of work. So I would like to split the 8 examples into 2 groups in number 9. First, let's address the subtraction. We have A, B, C, and D. Let's address subtraction. I'm going to put a nice division line. Okay, so let's figure out 372. I'm going to start with A. 372, we have all these expressions, all these mathematical sentences we need to calculate. 372 minus the difference of 45 and 29. You can gently cross it out and say this happens first. Of course, parentheses comes first. 372 minus 16. I will let you compute the answer. Next example, 372 minus 45, but then add 29. We solve it in the order of appearance. I will let you pause this example and compute the answer. Finally, in C, subtract from 372 45 and then subtract 29. Just like that, in the order of appearance. I will let you figure out the answer. And finally, example D states, subtract from 372 the sum of 45 and 29. And I'm going to help you out here. 45 and 29, we compute that first. 45 plus 30 would be 75, but 45 plus 29 is 74. So here we're looking for 372 minus 74. I will let you pause this video and compute all 4 answers. I hope you had a chance to do that on your own. And now I would like to compare our answers. For answer A, I got 356. For answer B, I also got 356. For answer C, I got 298. And for answer D, I also got 298. What is going on here? Well, I'm only going to work on examples A and B. Look at example A. Let's look at the number line. What actually happened here? We start with 372. And we subtract 16, right? So we subtract 16 and we land on 356. Makes sense on a number line. What happens in example B? We have a number line. And of course, again, we start with 372, just like in example A. We subtract 45. Let's go back on a number line, minus 45. And then we add 29. We add 29. Notice we landed on the same spot, 356. Because this difference, the total difference was only 16. We will learn more about the details of why this works later on in pre-algebra, but I want you to start paying attention. Now, the examples E, F, G, H, I would like you to solve on your own. Because now you know that whatever happens in parentheses, we solve first. So of course, in example F, 4 times 2, easy math, is just 8. And example H, 4 divided by 2 is easy math, just 2. And everything else you can compute on your own. Now, in example 10, I would like to address only the bottom one. Only the bottom one. Let's compute D. Let's compute D. We have a lot going on in D, but we already know we're getting a good practice here today, and we already know what to do here. First of all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different operations, and we have parentheses around the difference of 8 and 3. According to the rules of operations, we must compute this expression in a specific order. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. If you don't remember, please always write down these rules. And according to the first rule, we must address what's in parentheses first. 8 minus 3 gives us 5. Let me rewrite the expression. 9 minus 5 divide by 5 times 2 plus 6. We already simplified this expression. Instead of 5 operations, we're now down to only 4. What do we compute first? Let's scan it from left to right. And we notice from left to right. And we notice we have division followed by multiplication. Well, let's solve it in the order of appearance. This entire two operations would result in 5 divided by 5 times 2. Well, 5 divided by 5 is 1 times 2. It becomes 1 times 2 equals 2. Wonderful. Let's rewrite it. 9 minus this entire thing, this entire chunk simplifies to just beautiful 2 plus 6. And the result is, again, we compute minus plus just left to right, and the result is 7 plus 6, which is 13. The answer is 13. If you got 13, I'm really happy. I would like for you to solve A, B, and C on your own as we move on to the following page. And again, we have more examples that keep increasing in difficulty, but we already know what's going on. I would like to work with you on 11C. Ooh, tick, tick. Why such a large zoom? I figured it out. So let's take a look at 11C. 11C. Let's highlight this expression that we are going to solve together while you solve examples A and B independently. So again, in example C, so much is going on. So much is going on. We have plus, divide, multiply, subtract, divide, subtract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different operations in addition to parentheses and the brackets. I'm going to use a different color for my brackets. And the brackets. So, according to the rules of operations, we're going to look inside the parentheses first. So let's compute these parentheses. 6 plus 30 divided by 6 is the same, simplifies to 6 plus 5. Let's keep the parentheses around. Times 5. Copy the rest of this expression, minus 5. Close our brackets. Let's add the bracket here. We're copying over the rest so we don't make any mistakes. Divide by 10 minus 3. We address the parentheses first. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to over here. And of course, 6 plus 5 is 11. Let me rewrite. Here is my bracket, and I'm going to use 11 times 5 minus 5. Close the bracket, and I'm copying over. Divide by 10 minus 3 equals. Of course, we address the brackets first, and we have 55 minus 5. Divide by 10 minus 3. And of course, it is simply 50 divided by 10 minus 3, resulting into 5 minus 3. The answer is 2. The answer is 2. If you got 2, we are all correct and on the same page. Now, the next two examples, 12 and 13, is something that I call in mathematics translation of English into math. Or what we're doing, we have something written in English or any other language, Russian, Mandarin, Hindi, and we have the language of math that consists of numbers and symbols, and we need to perform the translation. Translate. Let's take a look at number 12. Let's read the English part. Which of the following is the correct interpretation of 3 times the sum of 26 and 4? 3 times the sum of 26 and 4. I want you to scan the possibilities of A, B, and C and think about it for yourselves. pause this video. I'm going to read with emphasis number 13. Write an expression for the following, then evaluate it. Let me clean up my translation image. I'm reading number 13. The product of 9 and the difference between 5 and 14. So let's go back to number 12. I hope your answer was number A. Why is A the correct answer? Because it's 3 times the sum of 26 and 4. Here is how I would read B and C in English. Example B, I would read 3 times 26 increased by 4. And example C, I would read 26 and the product of 4 and 3. Very different math than what we were asked to do. Therefore, A is the only correct answer. Now let's look at the translation of the product of 9 and the difference between 5 and 4. Well, you know, product means multiplication. So it's the product of 9 and the difference between 5 and 14. How do we write the difference between 5 and 14? In order to find the difference, we use subtraction. And of course, I hope you evaluated correctly. 14 minus 5 happens first, so it's 9 times 9 equals 81. And this concludes our mini lesson